All right, this is a continuation with Emma Richardson. Now, Emma, I've been giving some thought regarding your whereabouts on the day of Daniel's murder, and just to be clear, you were at the Best Day Motel the entire day, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So you didn't leave at all, not even to get food or anything like that?
Actually, I did leave the motel that morning. It was quick, though. I went to get breakfast at the diner across the street from the motel. I got the food to go, and then I went back to the motel and stayed there the rest of the day.
So around what time did you go to the diner?
It was early, probably around 7.
Around 7. So you did not leave the motel at all any time after getting that breakfast around 7 a.m.?
No, I did not.
Now, did you eat dinner?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so then how was it that you got your dinner that day?
Charles stopped by that evening to bring me dinner.
Oh, that's very kind of him.
Yes, it was.
So what time did he stop by?
I believe it was around 6-ish.
Around 6-ish. Now, did Charles bring you anything else?
Like what?
Like anything besides the dinner itself?
I don't think so.
And you're sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right, so I'm going to assume that if I were to stop by that diner and talk to some of the folks there, that someone who was working that morning would be able to verify that you were indeed there getting your breakfast around 7 a.m. Does that sound right?
I believe so, yes.
All right, well, let's assume that someone from the diner can verify you were there that morning, and let's also assume that Charles can corroborate that he did bring you dinner that evening. Is there anyone else that can account for your time, say, between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. that day?
No, I don't think so.
There's no one at all?
No one I can think of.
All right, so just to make sure that I have this clear, you definitely did not go to Daniel's house at all the day that he was killed. Is that correct?
That's right.
So see, based on what I have so far, it seems to me that either Janice or Charles committed this murder. In fact, maybe the two of them even worked together. I don't know.
Why would you say that?
Well, because Emma, the two of them were both seen entering and leaving Daniel's house the same day that he was killed.
But that doesn't make any sense. I mean, neither of them would do something like that.
Emma, how can you be so sure of that?
Well, in Janice's case, she had no reason to do such a thing. She hardly even knew Daniel.
Right, but she knows you. And she knows what you've been through. I am sure that Janice can empathize with you. You don't think so?
Janice is on probation. She's been through a really difficult and unfortunate situation. She served her time, and she has a good life now. You think she would screw all that up for some guy she hardly knows? Or for me, her neighbor?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, she wouldn't.
All right, well then what about Charles? Because he was also seen entering Daniel's house that day. And we have already established that you are clearly someone important enough in his life to look out for. I mean, maybe he was, trying to care for you. Maybe, protect you.
Charles is not a killer. Does he care for me? Yes, and I care for him too. We've known each other for a really long time. But it's just not in his character to do something like that. He would never kill someone, or even think about doing something like that, for that matter. It's just not who he is.
All right, Emma, give me a second, okay? I'll be right back. Well, I don't think this is adding up at all. I feel like we must have some evidence that contradicts her statement. Can you look over everything and see if you can find a clear contradiction?
That'll add a lot more weight when I go back in there. Give me a call when you got something. Thanks. Hello? Yes, that's it. Kinda hard to argue that Charles isn't capable of murder, or at least thinking about it when you have him on video literally threatening to kill someone. That is good stuff. All right, let me show her this and see what sort of explanation she has. This is good. Thanks. All right, let me get back in there. Hang tight.
All right, this is another continuation with Emma Richardson. Now, Emma, you had told me earlier, and I'm paraphrasing here, but you said something along the lines of Charles not being capable of committing murder or even thinking about it. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I want you to do me a favor and turn your attention to the TV here. I want you to take a look at this.
Yeah, asshole. I know what you did there, Mom. Look, I don't know what she told you, but I didn't lay a finger on her. Oh, shut up and cut that shit. I know you did. We already got to get out. Kid, I will fucking kill you. You don't understand me. No, whatever. I will end you. You got that? I will fucking end you.
So what do you think now?
I know how it looks, but surely you can see he's not being literal. Yes, he's angry and obviously trying to scare the shit out of Daniel. But to think he literally meant what he said, it's absolutely ludicrous.
Is it really?
It's a figure of speech. Obviously, Charles is not a murderer.
Emma, I am showing you clear proof right here that Charles threatened to kill Daniel. Now that absolutely makes him a suspect, and it shows clear intent. Now, I hear you when you say that you think Charles isn't a murderer. But Emma, what actual proof do you have that Charles did not kill Daniel? And I mean real proof, not just your thoughts and feelings.
I don't have any actual proof.
There you go. That right there is the problem. All right, that is a big problem that I need to get to the bottom of. So look, we are going to put a pause on this for now because I absolutely do need to speak to Charles again. All right?
Okay.
All right. I think we're making some progress here. Time will tell. You did a good job finding the right evidence. So now, let's see what Charles has to say. I'm going to get him back in here. I'll talk to you in a few.
All right, this is another continuation with Charles Humphreys. So Charles, I want to revisit your relationship with Daniel.
I mean, sure, but like I told you before, there wasn't much of a relationship. I only met the guy a few times.
So when was the last time that you saw him?
Probably a few months ago, maybe? Honestly, I'm not sure.
So you didn't see him on September 11th?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah, I saw him that morning. That's right. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
See, Charles, I don't know how you could forget that.
What do you mean?
Well, Charles, we have security cam video that shows you violently threatening him. In fact, Charles, we can take a look at that right now.
You don't need to show me that.
Well, Charles, I just want to refresh your memory, okay? Seeing as though that you forgot. So please, indulge me, okay? Take a look.
Yeah, asshole. You're not you, man. I'm not going to me. I know what you did there, Mom. Look, I don't know what she told you, but I didn't lay a finger on her. Oh, shut up. You kept her shit. I know you did. You already got, kid. I will fucking kill you. No, whatever.
So, Charles, is it coming back to you now?
Yeah.
Charles, you are seen here threatening Daniel's life, all right? Now, that is pretty damn serious, especially considering the fact that the man whose life that you threatened, well, he was found killed the very next day.
I know how it looks, but I swear that was just an empty threat. I didn't mean it literally. But I was pissed, man. He laid hands on Emma, and I wanted him to know that I wasn't going to put up with that shit, period.
So you had no intentions of actually following through with that threat?
No, I wasn't actually going to kill him. But yeah, if he hurt Emma again, I would have probably went there and kicked his ass. But no, I wasn't actually going to kill him.
Okay, fair enough. So let's talk about your other visit to Daniel's house, okay? The next day, the day that he was actually killed.
Yeah, sure. What more do you want to know?
Well, you went there to gather some of Emma's personal belongings based on her request, right?
Yes, that's right.
And I'm assuming that you were able to get everything that you were sent there to get. Is that also correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So when did you actually bring these items to Emma?
Later that night.
At the motel.
Yes, at the motel.
And you had also brought her dinner as well that evening, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So Charles, when you were actually inside of Daniel's house gathering these items, how long would you say that you were in there for?
It's pretty quick, maybe a minute at the most.
A minute at most? Really?
Well, I just went into the house and grabbed a bag that was right at the entryway and then left.
So you had no reason to look around the house at all?
No, not at all.
All right, Charles, well, let me process this, okay, for a little bit. So we'll take a short break and I will be right back, okay?
Okay.
All right, there are definitely some holes in this guy's story. I'm going to need you to find some concrete proof. Let's nail this guy hard, all right? Let me know what you can find. Thanks. Hey, there it is. There it is. Fantastic work. Good eye. Yes, he is clearly in the house for way longer than just a minute. And yeah, you're right. Emma stated that he only brought her food the night of Daniel's death. She made it pretty clear that he didn't bring her anything else. So why would he go through the trouble of getting her personal items and then not actually give them to her? That makes no sense at all. All right, let's get the show back up and running. We need answers. Talk soon. Bye.
All right, this is a continuation with Charles Humphreys. Now, Charles, I want you to take a look at this footage right here, okay?
What am I looking for exactly?
Well, you can clearly see that that's you at the front of Daniel's house, correct?
Yes, I can see that.
So can you look up there and tell me, what is the date?
It's September 12th,
All right, and the time? What does that say?
9:27 a.m.
So 9:27 a.m. All right. Now let's fast forward through this. We'll jump to about right about here. All right. Now, can we agree that this is you leaving Daniel's house that same morning?
Yes, it is.
So again, can you look up there and tell me the time? What does it say now?
It's 9:31 a.m.
So 9:31 a.m. Now see, Charles, you told me that you were in Daniel's house for no more than 1 minute. Okay, now I'm showing you the security cam video that shows that you were in there for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now, Charles, I can't understand why it would take 3 to 4 minutes to simply go inside of the house, grab a bag that's right there in the entryway, and then leave. So, Charles, can we cut the bullshit? All right, why did you go inside this house? And more importantly, what were you doing in this house? And this time, Charles, please, do not lie to me.
Look, I don't know if you're aware, but Daniel threatened Emma at gunpoint the day before he died. Now, I obviously knew this guy was unstable, but I didn't know he had a gun in the house.
So how did you find out about the gun?
Emma told me, and I was afraid Daniel was going to flip out again and actually use the gun to hurt Emma. So I decided to go over to the house and see if he was there. But when I got there, his car wasn't in the driveway. So I thought I could go in the house and find the gun and take it from him.
All right, so just to be clear, the reason that you went to the house was to find this gun.
That's right. And when I went in the house, I immediately went into their bedroom thinking that's where it would be. But instead, I find the guy lying there dead, and the gun is in his hand too. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I remember they had the security cam out front, so that freaked me out, right? And I knew it was going to look bad, me coming in the house and this guy being dead. So I quickly kind of came up with this plan to grab some of Emma's stuff and put it in this bag. So it seemed like I had a reason to be there.
So this whole thing was just a performance for the security cam?
Yeah, I guess that's one way to put it.
Well, I guess that does make sense. Because see, Emma, she stated that the only thing that you brought her that evening was dinner.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's stupid and I'm sorry. But I didn't want to have any connection to this guy's death. I mean, the whole situation makes it look like I did it. Hell, I don't even know if you believe what I'm saying. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth.
All right, so if your intent was to go there and to find this gun, then why do you look so confused when you first arrived?
Honestly, that's what I'm still confused about. Because I went to reach for the spare key, it wasn't there. So I thought I'd try the door anyway, and to my surprise, it was already unlocked.
So who do you think could have taken that spare key?
Honestly, I have no clue. I mean, I know it wasn't me, and it definitely wasn't Rebecca, because she has her own keys to the house, so I don't know. And I don't know why they would have left the door unlocked. That doesn't make any sense either. But what I do know is that it's obvious that somebody was there before me. They took the spare key, and they went through the front door.
All right. Well, Charles, we're going to give you a break, all right? You can step out of here for now, okay?
Okay.
Hey, I think that went well. It's quite a story, though. I'm still not sure who to believe at this point in time. That being said, he did hit the nail on the head. Someone was absolutely there before him, and we know exactly who that was. Now we got both Janice and Charles saying they arrived at the house that morning, and both claim they found Daniel already dead. Yeah, I am not too sure I buy that. Now, I can see Charles's possible motivation for killing Daniel, but Janice's is a little unclear. I mean, maybe she was triggered by seeing another woman she knew dealing with a similar type of abuse that she experienced? I don't know. Well, regardless, we gotta move forward. I want to hear more from Janice. I'll grab her now. We'll be back up in just a sec.
Okay, this is a continuation with Janice Burks. So look, Janice, I just want to explore your relationship with Emma a bit more with you, if that's okay.
Sure. What more would you like to know?
Well, you mentioned having a positive relationship with her, so yeah, I just want to, get a better understanding of what that relationship looks like.
Well, like I told you before, Emma's always treated me nicely. And we talk from time to time so we get to know each other a little bit. She looks out for me, I look out for her. She's never judged me whatsoever, and I think that speaks a lot to her character. She's a very good person, and I'm really glad I got to know her.
Now, would you say that she trusts you?
To a certain extent, yes, I would say that.
Now, were you aware of the physical abuse that she had experienced? Did she trust you enough to share that information?
No. I knew they had some arguments. Sounded pretty bad, too. It was loud enough you could hear it next door. But I wasn't aware of any actual physical abuse.
So you were aware that they had some pretty bad arguments?
Yes, I was aware of that.
But you were not aware of any actual physical abuse?
No, sir.
Now, you met Daniel a few times, so I'm wondering, do you think that he seems like the kind of guy that would be capable of physically striking a woman?
Like you just said, I only met him a few times, so I don't think I would be the best judge of his character.
Well, just in the limited interactions that you had with him, does he seem like the kind of guy that would be capable of physically striking a woman?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
All right, well, Janice, we are going to take a real short break. It would be great if you can use this time to maybe think about your encounters with Daniel and see if you can maybe come up with a more concrete answer, because I would appreciate that.
Sure. But I don't know what else there is to think about.
Well, just try. That's all I'm asking.
Sure.
Well, thank you, Janice.
Well, she does seem to have all the right answers, doesn't she? But there's gotta be some flaws. It just all seems a bit too perfect. There's gotta be more to this than what she's telling us. All right, let's take some time here. Look through everything you got, see if there's any contradictory evidence we can use to prove this statement of hers is full of shit. Hopefully you can find something good. Give me a call when you got something, all right? Bye. Hey. Well, there you go. That is great. Perfect. I'll share what Emma said earlier in her previous statement. Good catch. Now, what she said definitely doesn't match up with Janice's presentation of the facts. I'll grab the text message records as well. There's no way Janice can argue with that. All right, let me grab what I need and get back in there. Thanks.
All right, this is another continuation with Janice Burks. So, Janice, I want to make sure that I got this right. Now, you are not aware of any physical abuse that Emma has experienced. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Now, see, that is a problem. Because, see, Emma has stated the complete opposite.
What did Emma say?
Well, in her earlier statement, Emma said that you had texted her the night that her and Daniel had that pretty bad argument, the night that he had reportedly assaulted her. She said that you had texted her asking her if everything was okay. Now, does that ring any bells?
Well, yeah, that's correct, sir.
Now, she said that she had texted you back later that night telling you exactly what had happened. Does that also sound familiar to you?
Well, yes, that's also correct, but I don't remember if she told me that he'd actually physically assaulted her.
So you don't remember her texting you that detail?
No, not that I recall.
That's interesting. That is very, very interesting. So, Janice, look, I want you to take a look at these records right here. I want you to look at the message that's highlighted there. Now, that is a text message that Emma had sent to you the evening of September 9th. Now, she clearly texted, and I quote, "He threw me to the ground, hurt me pretty bad, at the hospital now." Now, there is no mixed messaging there. I find it very hard to believe that someone would forget such a major detail. Now, Janice, did you lie to me again?
No, sir. I just didn't recall.
You didn't recall.
Okay, I may have misstated the facts.
Janice, that is a very eloquent way of telling me that you lied. Now, Janice, why did you lie to me again?
Why did I lie? Again, sir, look at the optics. Someone with my background is seen entering the house the same day that Daniel's body is found shot to death. You know why I lied. And don't take this personally, but I don't trust law enforcement. I know I'm an easy target. I'm just doing the best I can to stay out of prison, sir. Look, you want to know what the truth is?
Yes, Janice, that is literally the only thing I want to know.
Good. Because the truth is that none of us would be in this mess if law enforcement had actually done their job and protected Emma when she first reported the abuse. She did all she could. She went to the police. She told them everything that Daniel had done to her. She even had her daughter as a witness. That man should already be locked up. That man physically assaulted her, and you guys let him go on his merry way. That's not okay. You know it, and I know it, that that's not okay.
Look, Janice, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. And yeah, maybe we could have handled things differently. I don't know. Okay, but regardless, we can't live in the past, right? I mean, all that we can do is to make sure that we do the right thing right now in this moment. That's literally all that we can do. So Janice, let me ask you again, okay? Were you aware that Daniel had physically assaulted Emma?
Yes, sir, I was aware.
And your only confirmation of this were the text messages between you and Emma, is that correct?
That and the fact that she went to the hospital with a dislocated elbow. Not sure I'd need any more proof than that.
But you didn't actually see Daniel physically assault her, correct?
No. What kind of question is that? I mean, what man do you know is going to strike a woman in front of other people? Guys like that do their business behind closed doors. Trust me, I know.
Fair enough. Now, I am curious, and Janice, please be honest. Do you think that Daniel deserved to be killed for his actions?
No. Punished, yes, but not killed. Are we almost done, officer?
For now. Yes, for now. Now, I do need to get some other people in here, and then we'll see how it goes from there. But, yeah, Janice, you can step out of here for now, okay? Let's go.
Alright, so we know for sure that Janice was aware of the physical abuse. We know she was the first person seen on camera entering the house, and we know that she and Emma have a relationship in which both of them look out for one another. Now, what we don't know for sure is if Daniel was indeed already dead by the time she entered the house. And at this moment, there really is no way to prove or disprove Daniel's status at that time. It's clear that these people are still lying to us. There's still too many holes and things that just make no sense. All right, let's get Rebecca back in here for another round. I got a few more questions for her. Hang tight.
All right, this is a continuation with Rebecca Humphreys. So, Rebecca, I want to go back to the day of Daniel's death.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said that you were at your dad's house the entire day that Daniel was killed. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And the only thing to corroborate this are these text messages between you and a coworker in which you asked them to cover your shift for that day. Is that also correct?
Yeah, that's also correct.
So see, the problem here is that those text messages do not necessarily prove that you were at your dad's house that day. In fact, all they prove is that you didn't go to work that day. Now, as to your exact whereabouts on that day, well, that is yet to be proven, right? All I've got to go on is your words. Now, would you say that that is a fair assessment?
Yeah, I guess. I can see where you're coming from. But at the same time, I don't really have any reason to lie either.
Now, that very well may be true, but my job is to question everything, okay? I can't base things off of just words alone. I need facts, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So, is there anyone that may have seen you either enter or leave your dad's house on that day?
I don't know. I mean, there's not really a way for me to tell if somebody had seen me on that day. It's possible, but I don't know.
But your dad, he can account for your time later that day, right? In the evening?
Yeah, he can.
All right, so according to you, the only person who can account for your whereabouts on that day is your dad, but that's only in the evening. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Rebecca, did you go to Daniel's house the day that he was killed?
No. I already told you I was at my dad's house the entire day.
I am aware that that's what you told me. But again, without any concrete proof, I can't just go based off of your words.
Do you have access to their security cam?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so is that not proof? The security cam has a sensor. Anytime anybody gets within a few feet of it, it triggers. So it's quite literally impossible to enter the house without being recorded. So are you able to check those recordings? Have you checked them?
Yes, we have gone through all of those recordings, yeah.
And did you see me enter the house?
As a matter of fact, no, we did not.
Well then, there you go. I don't know what more you want.
But see, Rebecca, you didn't necessarily need to go through the front door. You could have gone through the rear door. Now, to my knowledge, the rear entrance does not have any sort of security cam of any kind. So, in theory, you, or anyone else for that matter, could have gone through there. Isn't that a possibility?
No, actually, it's not. No. The rear door is always kept locked, and on top of that, I don't have a house key. So whenever I need to enter the house, I use a spare key. And if I have to use the spare key, I have to go get it. In turn, I would trigger the security cam and I would be recorded. I'd be on those recordings.
Now, in regards to these recordings, I did notice that you guys have a keypad on that front door. So you don't have a code for that either?
No. That's been broken since I've moved in.
All right, so since you don't have a key and that rear door is always kept locked and that keypad is broken, then there would have been no way for you to enter that house on that day. Is that what you're telling me?
Not unless I use the spare key.
All right, fair enough. Okay, Rebecca, we are going to take a short break. You just wait here, all right? And I'll be back in just a few. All right.
Well, yet again, I feel like we're not getting the whole truth here. Her not having an alibi is definitely a red flag. I know we brought her in here as a witness, but I'm thinking we may have to bump her up to a suspect. The abuse she witnessed could be enough to give her a motive. Possibly. All right, let's see if you can work your magic and find some contradictory evidence here. I want to squeeze every ounce of truth out of her. You give me a call when you got something solid. Talk soon. Hey. Yes! I knew you'd find exactly what we needed. Now, I do feel kind of silly not remembering the rear door being open, but that's why 2 sets of eyes are better than 1, right? Good stuff, good stuff. Right, with that photo and Charles's statement, we definitely have enough to back her into a corner. Let's see how she responds. We'll be live in just a few. All right, bye.
Okay, this is a continuation with Rebecca Humphreys. Now, Rebecca, I know we discussed you not having a way of entering that house without being seen, but I do want to revisit that rear door possibility. So let's hypothetically say that if someone were to leave the rear door open for some rare reason, then in theory, you could have entered through that rear door completely undetected, right?
I guess in that very rare and specific scenario, it's possible. Sure.
All right, now I want you to take a look at this photo right here, and you tell me, what is it that you notice?
The rear door is left open? Is that what you want me to notice?
Correct. Now, this photo was taken from the crime scene, which means that someone left that door open. So this very rare and specific scenario is actually a fact. Now, we found that rear door unlocked and ajar. Okay, so now with this knowledge, it is safe to say that you could have entered through that rear door completely undetected, right?
I guess given what you've just shown me, yeah, sure, it's possible, but that's not what happened. I already told you I didn't go to the house that day, and I feel like I'm just repeating the same thing over and over.
And why should I believe you?
Look, am I a suspect here? Because you're treating me as if I actually had something to do with this.
No, Rebecca, I am treating you like someone who may have something to hide, because you have indeed hidden information from me. In fact, I might go so far to say that you have straight up lied to me, Rebecca.
What are you even talking about?
Look, when I talked to your dad earlier today, he told me that you have your own set of keys to Daniel's house. But then you told me that you don't have keys to Daniel's house. So you see, either you or your dad is lying to me.
Okay, yes, I do have keys to Daniel's house, but that doesn't mean that I was there.
Now, why did you lie to me? All right? Lying to me is only going to make things worse, and you know that.
I don't know. I guess I didn't want you to be suspicious of me.
Well, that obviously did not work out too well for you, did it?
No, it didn't.
All right, so now knowing that you do actually have keys to the house, it is safe to say that you could have entered through that rear door whether it was left open or not. Is that correct?
Yes, technically, that is correct. But look, I know that I lied to you about not having keys, but I swear I'm not lying about when I say that I didn't go to the house that day.
All right, well, let's assume that you are telling the truth, okay, and that you did not go to the house that day. Can you think of any reason as to why that door would have been left open, especially when you said that the rear door is never left unlocked? So why is it that on this specific day, that door was left open?
I don't know. Maybe Daniel left it open for some weird reason. That's all I can think of because I don't know. I honestly just don't know.
All right, Rebecca, let's put a pause on this conversation, okay? You can step out of here for now.
Sure.
Hey, so you think she's telling the whole truth now? I feel like we got more out of her, and maybe she's being honest, but I still don't know. We still don't have the complete picture, which means technically anything is possible. Alright, we've made some good progress so far, but it's time to really grind this out and get to the bottom of this case. I want to bring all 4 of them back in here for one more round of questioning. The gloves are coming off this time. All right, let's get to it. I'll start with Janice. Let's see what more we can get out of her. I'll be back with her in just a sec. All right, bye.